All right, thanks a lot, Allie. I'll take it from here. When you think about the holiday dinner table, you probably think about turkey, you think about ham, but what about fish? For a lot of us, it's kind of thinking outside the box, but the reality is a lot of people have traditions that their meals center around fish. We're joined now from Dwight Colton from the Fish Market. Great to see you, Dwight. And also Pablo, who's going to fillet one of these, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're the expert. Talk to us about the fish that we're seeing here, everything that we're seeing. There's just such a diversity.
There is a diversity of seafood, so this represents the bounty of the ocean. We have shellfish from New Zealand, Prince Edward Island, Canada, scallops from the East Coast, Alaskan king crab over here. Here we have some more local fish that we're presenting today. We have a buchetta bass from Mexico, striped sea bass from northern Mexico. Here off the California coast, our black cod, sheep's head, or here some harpoon swordfish by one of the boats that we get here locally, delivered right to the back door of our restaurant.
And so, Pablo, what is the secret to the properly filleting one of these fish?
Well, first of all, you need to have a real sharp knife so you can fillet the fish. Otherwise, you don't have a sharp knife. It's going to be hard. You're going to have hard problems doing it. You know what?
Well, let's see how you do it.
But I'm going to be showing you how to do this guy, how to fillet this fish. This is yellowfin tuna.
Because so often when we see yellowfin, it's already been cut up and in the case, but this is what goes on behind the scenes. Now, Dwight, talk to us about traditions, because obviously the lines are out the door, literally at the fish market. You have retail areas downtown,
yes,
and also in Del Mar.
Yes.
What do they talk to you about how to prepare? Do they ask you how to prepare this?
Any of our fishmongers behind the counter could help you select the right seafood for your family, your tradition. We'll give you cooking tips, how to store it. In particular, we really want to make sure people take their seafood home and handle it properly. Keep it cold, keep it in the bottom of your refrigerator, keep a bag of ice on top of it. The colder you keep your seafood at home, the better it's going to hold for you.
That's a good rule of thumb.
It is, yeah. And we have a saying in the restaurant too, if you can actually see the fish, there's not enough ice on it.
Okay, good. And how long, if let's say you do pack it nice, how long can you expect the average fish to stay good?
If you're buying it at our retail market, I'd like to suggest that you take it home and cook it within 3 days, as long as you're holding it properly.
Okay. So describe what we're seeing here, Pablo.
Okay, this is a yellowfin tuna. This is the top loin on the yellowfin tuna. You can see this is the color. And this is where we can make sushi out of this. This is the top loin. We can make sushi out of this. We just have to got this guy like right here.
Okay. You can make a lot of sushi with that.
Yes.
Oh, yes, we do. We can.
How many rolls do you think you can make with that, Dwight?
Hundreds, maybe thousands. This is probably from an 80-pound fish. So what you see on the counter after the head and guts are removed is about 65 pounds. And
is that about what the average weighs, yellowfin tuna weighs?
This is the size we look for.
It is.
We get a good yield out of it. It makes a nice sized steak that ends up on the plate for a guest.
I see.
And we get the proper amount of ahi, the top loin, to use for sushi. So some of this will be used in the restaurant. Some of this will be used in our sushi bar.
Okay.
And the rest will sell out of the retail market case. But as you can see, as Pablo has worked that piece of fish, now it's 100% edible. All the blood meat, skin has been removed. And this is what the kind of quality you'll get from our retail markets. We want you to be able to take everything that you buy from us, take it home, and be able to use it all.
And where did this fish come from?
This fish is from the South
You're supposed
Pacific.
to say the ocean.
From the ocean. From the ocean off Fiji, actually. So a lot of the tuna this time of the year is imported from, the South Pacific. And as you can see, as Pablo has cut the tuna here, how close it is to the bone. So Pablo's an expert. In his 25 plus years with the company, he's filleted millions of pounds of fish, realistically. And how tight that is to the bone, very little waste, and that's a real fishmonger's way to cut a tuna there.
So when we go to buy a fish, what should we look for? Is it color? Is it, because I know some places will add color, right, to the fish to make it look more
Some farm
rich and
salmon
full?
would come with a color that'll make it more orange. The salmons we use, although they're farm raised, are used with a natural shrimp feed that actually give it that same vibrant red-orange color. But you want to look, first of all, for color. Seafood should be bright. It should be moist. We'll be happy to show it to you. You can smell it, give it the nasal appraisal. But when we're buying whole fish, we look for fish that the flesh is firm. It doesn't spring back. So when Pablo or any of our other fishmongers check things in, they're looking at the color of the eyes, the color of the gills. and then the texture of the flesh to make sure it's nice and springy.
Is there any one fish that's easier to cook than the others? For somebody who may be completely new at cooking fish, what would you recommend?
That's a great question, and we get that all the time in the restaurant. The firmer fish, the tuna, the swordfish are easy to cook. They're easy to grill. They stay together in one piece, easy to flip over. Salmon and bass are much better for baking. If
Okay.
it's your first time
Sure.
doing it, lay it flat on a tray, hot oven, 10 to 12 minutes. Skewered scallops are a pretty easy one. Skewered prawns are easy to make at home also.
And where do these prawns come from? They're huge.
These are from the Sea of Cortez. So these get farmed by small boats throughout the Veracruz area. They bring them in. We buy hundreds of thousands of pounds of shrimp a year, and that's our premier shrimp, the Mexican brown shrimp.
And with all of this, I'd imagine it's critical for them to get this to you as quickly as they can.
It is. Time is of the essence. From the time the fish leaves the ocean to the time it gets to your plate, the clock is ticking.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's some great information. Do you ever have people who come up to you and say they want to tell you all about their recipes, their traditions for the family?
They do, and we try to
imagine you
honor
get some
that.
good ideas
We
from that.
do, and try to help them with what we have to match it to their family tradition. It's a challenge at times, but yeah, we learn a lot too when we listen to our guests about those things.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. All right, Dwight, thanks a lot.
You're
Great
welcome.
information. Pablo, it was awesome to watch you at work.
Oh,
I
thank
always
you. It's a
wondered how
pleasure
that
to be
works,
here.
how you did it. Wow. All right, thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
It's the Fish Market, 2 retail locations, Del Mar and downtown.
That's correct.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego right after this.